Exactly. So there's no way around it. Trump is a two-faced hypocrite. He's pardoning Hernandez, who Biden put into jail, who put in more than 400 tons of cocaine into America, and he's pardoning this guy. And at the same time, he's saying that he wants to go to war and put so much upheaval in Venezuela, killing people on boats because they're bringing in cocaine into America. The guy isn't consistent, and I don't see any excuses. His excuse is that Biden was corrupt and Hernandez is innocent. An American court found Hernandez guilty of channeling drugs in, and Trump is saying that he's innocent. With what evidence? Meanwhile, Hernandez's wife is going to run for president of Honduras, and Hernandez and his wife are right wing. It's clear Trump wants this guy back in office, or at least his wife back in office, so that America can have another right wing partner in the Western Hemisphere. I'm not complaining about that. I'm complaining about the consistency. But he's going after Venezuela, which is a leftist government, which goes away from the right. And he's saying he wants to attack them because they're selling drugs. So he's lying. He's not putting America first. He's lying to the America when he says he really cares about stopping drug trafficking. Because if he really cared about stopping drugs coming into America, why would you let the Honduras president come out? He's lying. So the question to American and MAGA follows, are you going to continue believing his lie, or are you just going to say, call him out for what he is? He's a liar because he thinks you're stupid and you can buy these stupid stories. And he's putting America last because if we go to war with Venezuela and do these things, it's not going to go well for America. We're going to get caught into a 10, 15-year conflict like Vietnam, or like what happened in Korea, or what happened in Iraq, in which we just spend a ton of money and we destabilize the country and we make the whole world unsafe. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yes, I mean, exactly. I mean, look at what is going on in Venezuela. And then he turns around and it's a complete contradiction. He says, he's fighting drugs. And then this convicted drug trafficker who has actually been found guilty of trafficking actual drugs with evidence, and then you're just letting him go. And then you want to tell me you're fighting drugs in Venezuela. I mean, we know obviously they're going for their oil. Venezuela has the largest reserve of oil. That's not the story. And then he's undermining, he's undermining the rule of law and the judicial system, because, I mean, this pardon is subverting the U.S. justice system. It's making a mockery of the system. You can't continue to, you can't say you're fighting drugs on one hand, domestic region, and talking about fentanyl and what have you, and then on the other hand, you're pardoning drug users, and then this interference in foreign elections. Trump endorsed Hernandez's right-wing National Party candidate, which is really, I think, the reason behind why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So there's that as well.
That is why, yeah. So what he's doing, and see, my thing is, I'm not going to argue about his tactics. What I'm arguing is that American people need to wake up. He's telling you that he cares about America and he cares about stopping drugs. These actions that he's doing now contradict that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't vote for Trump, but if you want to vote for Trump, keep it real and don't use it on the basis that you think he gives a fuck about stopping drug trafficking into America. That's all I'm saying, is that I'm not even, maybe I'll even vote for Trump, but when I vote for Trump, I'm still going to know that he's lying when he says in that instance he wants to put America first. Maybe he wants to put America first in other ways, but this drug thing, and also we have to hold him closely to this because the war in Venezuela is not a popular one. Nobody, in fact, you're seeing admirals in the U.S. Army step down because of the war crimes. So if you're going to do war crimes and make America commit war crimes, make sure you do it for a valid reason, not just because you want to get somebody out there so you can have money. Let's look at what he did in Argentina to support a right-wing government, like you said, meddling of foreign affairs. What if Americans say, we don't care if he's meddling in other foreign countries' politics? Cool. But what he did was he gave Argentina $40 billion US for voting in his right-wing candidate. So what you're saying is that I don't care. What I would say is, Trump, I don't care if you meddle in foreign elections, but don't take $40 billion when Americans don't have health care, when Americans can't eat now. Americans now, if you look at TV now, there are Americans who say during the week, they have to choose to not buy vegetables because they have to decide, do I want vegetable or do I want bread? And also with meat, they can't buy beef. They have to buy tuna fish. But you have 50 billion to give to 40 billion to give to Argentina. You have billions, trillions to give to Ukraine and to give to Israel. So my thing is that's why America's against your foreign policies, not because we care about the rest of the world, but because inside of America, the schools aren't doing well. People can't feed themselves properly. There's crime, and and everything is decaying. And you have the nerve to say we have to help these foreign countries, and it's always for some reason. We have to help fight Venezuela and spend billions. We have to help Argentina because there's a threat of drugs to our country. We have to help Israel. I don't know what their reason for helping Israel is, because they're God's people or whatever, or because they have to fight terrorists in the Middle East. But all of this is a lie, because same contradiction. He says he's fighting terrorism in the Middle East, but he's now installed and legitimized a former Al-Qaeda who said death to America, al-Sharaa. He's helping al-Sharaa, and meanwhile, al-Sharaa is killing minorities in Syria, and still he claims that he's now for America. But my point being is that if you're really for America and against terrorists, why would you put in a leader who has been with Al-Qaeda, and you think he's still not Al-Qaeda? He's only smiling in your face now. What are your thoughts? And we'll end on that, Kunle.
Yeah, it's quite
and the link I'm making is the same contradiction. We're against terrorists, but we pardon one terrorist. They pardoned al-Sharaa for his war crimes. We're against drug dealing, but we pardon a drug dealer too. It's the same strategy and textbook. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Yeah, the contradictions in the politics, the foreign policies of Trump in respect of Honduras and Venezuela, where you look at Israel and Ukraine and the domestic crises at home, you can see that it's all cracking down. It's all breaking down. And Trump is trying to play a balance between this split between the Zionist part of the far-right party and the MAGA part of the far-right party. These two arms of the far-right are beginning to break apart. And that's what we're beginning to see. That's the crack that we're really beginning to see grow. And as that grows, I do think that we'll begin to get to the bottom of all this nonsense.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I'll end with this. Yeah, because I'm wearing the MAGA hat. Make America Great Again. People would say, why are you wearing this? Because it's Trump, right? Nah, Trump is no longer MAGA. MAGA was
it doesn't even matter what. The important thing about MAGA is it needs to break. I don't care whether you're good, bad, happy, or sad. You need to break that Zionist influence first.
Yeah. Well, not just the Zionists, but not just that. Also the Russophobia, because they're spending too much money fighting. Although I think Trump wants to move away, fighting Russia, who's an imaginary enemy.
It's linked to the Zionist project.
Yeah, and then the third one
are from Poland and Ukraine.
Then the third one is trying to destabilize South America. All three of these have the same interest. AIPAC is to help Israel stay there, and also to build real estate in Palestine so that American businessmen can make money. So, second of all, the right-wing movement is also to destabilize those free markets and take their resources so that American businessmen can make money. The war against Russia and Ukraine is not about Ukraine. It's about trying to cripple Russia's economy so that American oil and gas can be sold to Europe, and they don't have access to Russian resources. So all three of them are about businessmen making money at the expense of the American taxpayer. What are your thoughts on where head out? Yeah.
That's precisely what's going on. America is an oligarchy state now. It's not a democratic state. A lot of Americans are waking up to the fact that what they believed was a democracy is not a democracy. It's a totalitarian government, and it's dominated by billionaires. Billionaires are now, who had been in the background, are now coming to the forefront of American politics.
Yeah,
that was removed from China and Russia, which is why they have so much of their country under control, and which is why America is out of control. I do believe that Trump's wars are down to the U.S. military complex, and he's doing what he's being told to do. I don't think Trump could put Venezuela on a map before this had all started. So it's quite dramatic, the changes.
Trump can't even put America on a map. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, we're seeing Britain that we thought was a democracy, and is now jailing 3 times as many people for social media comments as the Russians.
Yeah.
or anybody. They're jailing people more than North Korea, more than anybody.
Correct. You guys don't vote for Kemi Badenoch. Don't vote for Kemi Badenoch. I'm just
It's
joking.
affecting its freedoms, and
Yeah.
these are scary times that we live in.
No, this is scary
if
shit,
you're a
man.
Westerner, especially, because
I
the
don't know
global
where I'm
south
going to
is
go.
becoming
Should I go
bigger,
to Dubai?
stronger.
Yeah.
Anything breaks, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think the next big explosion is going to be Southeast Asia. I think
I'm going to learn.
They just put their heads down and they buckle down, and they've been doing the work.
Well, the Asians always work hard. So, for example, South Korea is outdoing America now when it comes to music and movies. So not just production, and also in Korea, Vietnam, all of these people are ready to be the production hub of the world, whereas China will be the logistical supplier. Anyway, yeah, take us out, Kunle. Nice one.